So when we talk about relocating and also building in Zimbabwe, we should understand that it is different to do it over the phone and to do it physically when you're on the ground. It has proven so many times that it becomes more expensive when one is not on the ground. You know, when you've got a runner, a middleman in Zimbabwe, and you're in the UK, you're in South Africa. Yesterday, this is so interesting because I was talking to Rua Organic. Yesterday I was talking to Rua Organic, and he was sharing on his platform and talking about the interview that I had with him when I was in Zimbabwe. To those who don't know, Rua Organic is a guy who does videos on YouTube. He's one of my inspiration, actually. I think he has over 25,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and he talks about quite a number of issues relating to relocating, investing in Zimbabwe. So when I went to Zim this past month, I decided to visit his farm to see what he's doing on the ground. So I had this, conversation with him, and he told me that I should go to Rua, where his farm is. He's currently in the UK. So he hasn't been on the ground for the past 2 years. So he doesn't know what's happening. Only the things that he sees are those that he can access through the cameras that are placed at his farm. So I went there to his farm, and we did an interview where I was in one of his chicken fowl run, and we had a discussion, and I think some of you watched that video. It's on this platform. Then I actually had to take a tour of his farm, seeing what is happening, and also taking into consideration the information that he had already given me concerning his plans for the farm. I did a tour of the farm, quite a few minutes, 30, 40 minutes. I was just touring the farm, seeing what's on the ground. Then after doing this, like I always say, this is a service that I offer to people who are in the diaspora. If you want me to go on the ground to see what's happening, either you're building your dream house or you are farming, you can actually ask me to go and see what's on the ground. And I was so shocked because I could see that this man has a great vision, but what was happening on the ground was a bit contrary to what he has envisioned. So I talked to the guys who were on the ground. They showed me how they were doing this, they were doing that, but it wasn't like to the level, where you see when you actually see the land, you see the resources that are there. You can see there's great potential at the farm, but when you're seeing the actual things that being done on the farm, you see that there's some limitations. When I shared the Rua Organics video on my WhatsApp platform, I saw one comment, one guy saying, you know what, if you tell your workers in Zimbabwe that you are doing farming as therapeutic, you're doing farming as a hobby, they will just take it as a hobby. They won't take it serious. They will just think that, Murungwedu Animari, so he's just doing this as a hobby. So lesson that you can drive from my assessment, lesson that you can drive from what I saw on the ground is that phone farming is good, but it's only good when it is done. There's proper planning. When you have someone on the ground who's got the same vision as the one that you have, and there is need for proper monitoring. I know some of you receive videos every day in the morning. This is what's happening at the farm. The goats are doing this, the cattle are doing. That is very good. If you have got someone who's reliable, someone who sees things the same way you see. So Rua Organic had these 40 plants of moringa tree that he had planted, and he had high hopes that these moringa trees would do something for him. So when I went there, I was shocked. Some of the moringa trees were dry. Some of the holes where he had planted them, there was actually nothing there. And when I was listening to his video, from watching my video, that's when he realized that, the moringa trees that he thought would have grown by now were still very, very small. So he had to contact his workers on the farm to say, what's happening to the trees? Until he had to find out that more than 17 trees were already dead, but the guy was not given information. So when I was looking also at his story, prior to my visit to his farm, he had other farm workers who were there on the farm, and sometimes birds, the chickens would just die, and they were not reported. So when he had to make a visit to Zimbabwe, when he went to Zimbabwe, he could see, so what happened to over 200-300 chickens? They just died, some just died. That was before he had installed some cameras. So my advice is, if you are not on the ground, you definitely need someone who sees the things the same way you see them, okay? uchinyatsoda munhu wekuti anenge achiona zvinhu the same way yaunoona nazvo, because sometimes you would relax uri kudiaspora thinking kuti basa riri kufamba, yet on the ground hapana chinhu chiri kufamba. This also goes even to the story of you kuvaka kuZimbabwe. And there are cases where I was on the ground, I saw it by myself. I wanted to build my car wash shed, the shed for my car wash. So I went to get a quotation for my shops kudombo shop. So I had to ask how much marata I can car wash. They were saying, these ones are about $7.50 each. These ones are $9. So I said I want these ones for $6.50. Then I bought those marata and it. Pakunyora invoice, they actually to ask me, so should we write $6.50 or write $7.50 or write $9, you know. But on the option, what thing is $6.50? One on your invoice, yema $9 times 10 marata, which is 90. Of which you know 65 times 10, that's 65. So there's that that difference. No matter what ground. Yeah, they are doing the work, but sometimes in the long run, you discover to kabaranza $2 you want to chirowa. Munanogona kuti waka 5-room cottage, yet ari kukuitira basa rekuti wake 8-room house yako. So you need to be very careful. You need to be very, very aware kuti being on the ground is different from doing it on the phone, doing it remotely. Zvakatosiyana nekure, there is a very, very huge difference. So my advice would be, before you begin a project, be it kuvaka, be it farming, usati watotanga project yacho, wona your availability, your schedule. Are you able to be on the ground, or you want to do it remotely? If you're going to be on the ground, that's the best. If you're a couple, just arrange that your wife can go to Zimbabwe whilst you're in the diaspora, or you go to, if the husband goes to Zimbabwe, and be on the ground so that you see. And also, there's good, if you're going to be doing it remotely, that is, you're doing it over the phone. Don't do just one quotation and you're done. It are 5, 6, 7 quotations, then you start comparing. And also you have someone on the ground. If you're not going to be there, you have someone at least on the ground. Someone who's reliable. He's also a safe that I offer. So that Pauno's or door frame, at some point I was told, because I was looking for my other cottage that I'm doing right now, I had to go and ask price yema door frame. So I asked the price yema door frame, kunemuna angachi my window frame. The guy to tell me, if you want this NQ, what for? They are going for $80. This one, this design, $85. Then I said, okay. Then I move up aside. Then they say, these are the old designs. The cost is $65. Same size, your window frame, and different price. Then the other one, $85. Pandaga's end up on page 3. The guys were saying, if it's you, I cannot wonder. Since you have more than 5, just give us $70 times 5, you know. Okay, it's fine. Then the Papa had to ask you, what about those door frames? How much do they cost? Your standard door frames, is it 115 millimeter? Those just standard door frames. And the guy said, these ones, if you want so, we'll give you $18. And I said, okay, it's fine. I'll see. So I had to move from the guy with my window frame, we engaged my door frames. Go to another guy, was also doing door frames, DPC and other stuff, Brickforce. And they said, these door frames, they cost $15. Same type of door frame, different prices, because they're just 100 meters apart, these guys, $15. Then I said, I would need more than 10. He said, if you want more than 10, then you can negotiate. You see, so there's always negotiation when it comes to buying things when you want to build. And it's very difficult for you to negotiate when you're not there. If you send someone, afana uri kuZimbabwe, mwangu wacho jambo mari, zvakatoaomera. So akaenda kangokudza kuti kune madoor frame angaita $18, ndadzikira wasvika pa 16. Andika, you akutoti at least wadzikisirwa $2, chitenga 10. Anotora 10, akuchienda kwaano negotiate yake kwema 15, pamwe azoitirwa 14 or $14.50. Akuita mari yake. So you should be very, very aware. You need to be very, very aware kuti the prices that you get when you're on the ground and the price that you get when you're dealing with people over the phone are totally different. Totally different. And also, Pamurutuma, there's one also other thing that I talked about, and that I would discourage people to do is just doing business with the relatives. I spoke about it. I think it's on Kelvin Billiot's YouTube channel. I saw he interviewed me when I was in Zimbabwe. He posted it on YouTube. It's also on Facebook. We are talking about doing business with family. Before I talk about that, let me just get back a bit. I heard a lot of people saying, when it comes to YouTube, you should listen to people who have done things. You should be listening to people on the ground. That's very good. Unfortunately, some of you started listening to me before I even went onto the ground. But I also thought, me having an experience on the ground would help me to have more information and to give a better, assessment, and to give you, to inform you better. So I went to Zimbabwe and I got 30 days there. Then I came back. I went and got 30 days. And also, I'm now practical. When I started like my chicken farming, right? I told you I started with 25. There's 25 chickens, and there was zero mortality. And even the market, it took less than 24 hours selling those 25 chickens. They were already gone. Then when I started doing 50, and I did 50, it was a bit because I'm getting chando and 2-3 jagafa. Then I went to 100. Then when I went to 100, the thing is, 25 it was fine. I wasn't around. I was just telling people what to do, and I was getting updates. That was fine. But when I started doing 100 now, I was there on the ground for the first. I wasn't there when the chicks came, but I was on the ground from the 3rd week, 4th week, 5th week, until the 6th week. I had to rush because of emergency, Ibasa. So on the 6th week, because of mortality, I didn't put 100, I put 110 just to cover that gap of mortality. Yes, true, some died, around 9 or so chicks died, but still my number was going to be over 100. But in the period between 6 weeks, between 5 and 6 weeks, that's when I had to come back and order the people on the ground to say, you need to sell this. Once you sell this, keep my money on safe, and I'll get my money when I come back. That's what happened. I had to send my friends to buy those chickens. 100 chickens were sold within 2-3 days. They were all gone. So this is September. Last month, August, I decided to August, I'll go to Zim. But I made an announced visit. Just drove my car. I got home. So people were seated. It was around 1-2 p.m. when I arrived in Zimbabwe. They were eating. Everyone was shocked that I was there, So I hadn't reinvested the money. I knew the money was still there, but there were no chickens. Actually, there were chickens still in my foreign, but the chickens now didn't belong to me. Then I had to ask, so what happened? They say, we sold all your chickens, but some died. That's always the issue. Some died. According to Rua, you know what Rua Organic was saying, that his friend's mother sold the rabbits, and you couldn't get the money, and he ended up saying the few that are left, you can eat them. But same thing that happened to me. Some chickens died. A lot of chickens ended up dying in the last month. We had a lot of chickens. How many? A lot of them died. Where's the money? We don't have money. We had actually started our own thing, so we've put 25 chicks. So if so many chickens died, what gave you the audacity to say we are going to start our own if my chickens died? So to cut the long story short, up to now, that batch of 100 chickens, up to now I haven't got anything. I didn't get any cent. And this is family. Some of you would ask questions, were you paying those people to do this? Everything was well catered for. They had everything they needed. You're going to get something from the chickens. And it was a done deal. They were going to be properly rewarded for what they were doing, So 100 chickens gone just like that. Selling 100 chickens, we're selling them at $6, which means about $600 just into the drain like that. I shared a more detailed video. And when I was very angry, and I did this video when I was in Zimbabwe, the video is accessible to members only. So if you're subscribed and if you're paying that monthly money, when you join the community, I think it should be around 20 something rand or less. So when you become a member, you can access that video. It's on this channel. I'll actually leave the link to that video in the comment section, where I was detailing what had happened, and I was so angry on the day when I did that video. So that 600 was gone just like that. And you're doing business with family. You can't have these people arrested. We are trying to better the people, these people's lives, but at the end of the day, you become bitter, And that's my advice. If you want to do business as business. Try to do business with strangers. Doing business with family can end up kanganisa na ukama musataurani nyaya mari. And from the video that I did, I noticed within less than 24 hours, it had over 16,000 views. And I saw people saying, "Dakarwa mari bro. My sister akatondirwa 3 point something, boyfriend yake vakazodi." In Zim, Just like anywhere else, people have got problems. Sometimes when you trust someone with 5,000 US, get into business, so that person can take advantage, you know. They can take advantage and say, "I'm going to 1,000." You heard of a story of a baker's inn manager. Aibata mari, we just tried chindege, you know, that's betting. Before you knew it, anga 20 samari 4 point something, yebasa, company. Unongo try. These things do happen pa Maria Zatotumira ku Zimbabwe. You send money to your relatives, you want them to do this, they inflate prices, you know. So we need to be very careful. If you want to do business in Zim, do with a stranger. Like we are doing, we have combined, I think I told you about this WhatsApp group. I simply needed 4 people who would come up, we'd put 500 Rand US together, then we do business, we buy land. But from the group, I got over 30 people. But I said 30 was going to be my ceiling. So if 30 people, we've come together, we're putting our monies together, 500 minimum, which represent a share. And we're going to be buying land. I'll be in Zim, I think, in the next 2 weeks. We buy our land, we build our matanga and stuff. It's a business that we're doing. We'll be showing you the progress of what we're going to be doing. So we just brought together 15,000 US, and we're going to be working on that project. I won't be going to this will be specifically for the members of this channel. So if you want to be a member, just click join there so that you subscribe and be paying that 20 Rand or 25. So that will be getting the details. We'll be showing you the inside story and how we'll be running that thing. We also have a separate project that we're doing in Dombosha. That one I'll be showing you. I think that will be for this platform because it's only 5 people. We came together, my wife and the other 4 people, putting $500 together, doing that chicken thing there. So I'm going to be showing you in October what's happening on the ground. The whole purpose of this channel is to equip you, to inspire you. That is just doable. And like that, I always say there are 2 revelations that I have this year. One revelation is that there's money in Zimbabwe. There's a lot of money in Zim. And I'm going to buy 1,000 US per month in your lifetime. This is the time you can invest in Zim and about $1,000 per month. Mind you, like I always said, Kugara South Africa, Zango Naro. Watch that video also. So basically, those are the 2 things that I wanted to talk about. Is it 2 things or 1 thing that is a bit broader? Kuti kuita chinhu uri kure uchiona vakataura vakati mbira yakashaya muswe nekutumira. Be on the ground, try your best. If you can't be on the ground, tibate isusu ndibate ndine vamwe mafesi angu ndofunga munomboona ma-YouTube videos avana mugove vanani, you know. Those are the guys that I also trust because I've seen them and I've seen what they are doing. Those people vanobate ndinogona kuudza nevamwe pandibate. When I'm not available, I'll refer you to someone anogona kuenda on the ground unokuonera kuti biri darita zvinhu here. So from the raw organic video that I did one specifically for him to show him what is happening at his farm, and I did another for this channel. But for this channel, I didn't upload the video. Like Ruwa was saying, you know, it's not because he wanted to deceive you on what's happening on the ground, but it's because he didn't want to embarrass himself. And also, what I saw and what I heard him say, in his mind there's great potential. He has got the resources, but the people on the ground are going. I actually got to the place. The guys thought they thought people were coming to fix the cameras, you know, surveillance cameras. Yet he was talking about me with my cameras of film. So when they saw me, that's when they actually started going to bow, walking out to the Muriwo dry. Imagine you've got half a hectare in Muriwo. They started with the Muriwo, they got to Bomira. I won't get to the video. These are the people on the ground. You're paying them, you're giving them food, but on the ground they are not doing anything. They are thinking you're doing that for as a hobby. You know? And the funny thing, sorry, I'm going to talk about true organic. I know in his video yesterday he was talking about meat. When you started asking about meat, let's do my meat is meat, moringa, so the guys will say, why are you always talking about meat? To them, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Yet you all is something that's so big. So, Pampacho, you need a person and a vision. The person I got to marry, in family like in Maria Kakosha say, you know, the hustles that we do in UK, I know you're doing my shifts. You don't sleep. You see your wife once a week. You see your husband 2 hours a week. One of my close friends also on this channel aitaura kuti isusu taisangana muparking, ndine mwana mucheche chitochinja car seat, murume ari kupinda motikari akuenda basa, ndakudai so muparking yemotikari. You see, mozongoona rimwe day pamwedzi kana ka1 kana ka2. So that's the life. Ine mahustles, ine stress, ine depression, ine loneliness. But wabata mariyo you send to Zimbabwe, vanobva vatonongo kurova zvako, zviva zvatongotsakatika. Guys, be aware of those two things. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. And also to those who are joining my platform, Team Diaspora, Team Chimodo, Team Homebound, those who are going to Zimbabwe this December, we're going to be having a get-together on the 20th of December. We'll be in Mrewa, Pabora, Bye-bye. The whole day will be there. Join our group. Currently, we have about 205 people who are in the group. If you're not going to be in Zimbabwe in December, but you want to see what others are doing, come upiwe pressure. I'm seeing amazing things in that WhatsApp group. The link is also in the description, but I'll also try to pin it. It will be the first comment. Click ipapo to take it straight to our WhatsApp group. Yeah, we are in the foreign country, we are in the diaspora to work, not to stay. If you get the grace to imba, it's good. But at the end of the day, we want to go back home and have what we call our own, preparing for our retirement. To meet again in my next video that's coming tomorrow. You guys have a pleasant day. Peace.